Oh,
No!
here we go. I think Deathspade heard through the grapevine.
Oh no.
That Goblin isn't as
it.
comfy with this matchup. So
Gob, if you watch this later, I did not.
it wasn't.
leak it.
It was not.
It was
us.
not me. Okay,
Well, Gob
big
immediately does not care, wants to run in. And I think while Gob probably feels a little uncomfortable with the matchup, he's still going to run in, as he tends to. Moist Goblin, shout out to Ludwig. This guy, he knows what he's doing. He's so efficient when he runs in. He's so aggressive, and he finds kills when a lot of people just would not be ready to find them. And I think that like his reads, his ability to just put pressure on your shield and just when you're in disadvantage, stuff like that, you're getting jairs every single day of the week, and that's going to be the first stock going the way of Moist Goblin.
Absolutely. And Goblin is known as probably the more balanced of the Roy players, maybe even considered a little bit more defensive or maybe strategic is the way to word that. Cola and Mugen not afraid to go like really far off stage, go for crazy ledge trumps, always over-aggressing to a degree. Cola playing incredibly aggressive, always playing at the corner whenever he's got a pressure for like ledge traps or whatnot. Goblin always plays for center stage.
Really intelligent positioning from him always. And I'm kind of curious to see if Deathspade's going to be able to handle that that pressure from Roy. I feel like this matchup probably isn't too, as soon as I say that, a nice little conversion into the up smash. I was saying, because I think Sora lacks like a really good burst option a lot of times. He can be a little bit on the slower side, a little bit on the floatier side. And Roy eats those kinds of characters for breakfast. As you can see, it's even hard for Deathspade to get off the ledge here.
Yeah, that was an interesting call out right there. Deathspade called Goblin out for not being able to actually hit the jab on the ledge hang. And then Goblin dash back, dash forward, jabbed twice again, and Deathspade just got up at the wrong time.
And this is a huge lead already for Goblin. He's starting off strong and continuing to go. These up Bs are a Goblin classic as well. He's so efficient at racking up damage with it. I feel like I always see him use up B out of shield more than other Roy players. And it's circle gets the square here. He's doing really well in this early game matchup.
Yeah, this is big. This is a big opening. I honestly think Deathspade will probably swap to Bayonetta after this, assuming that there's no big like stage counter pick that makes this matchup a whole lot easier. And I don't think there is. I cannot believe that killed, but down throw back air, is that what we just saw?
I believe so, and I didn't think that was a thing.
It's not a thing. It's not true, which is why it clashed. But I think Goblin called out the fact that Sora does not have any fast options in the air, and so at worst it's gonna trade.
I believe it was a call out on the side B recovery. So Deathspade probably has to go back to the drawing board a little bit there.
Yep.
Realizing that they need to switch things up, maybe Roy is selected again. Sora again.
Okay.
I guess we're not changing anything.
Okay.
It might be like FD is the pick or Kalos or something.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that could spell a little bit of a different story for it's small battlefield. Never mind.
Okay, small battlefield. What's the difference here? We have a smaller stage. I mean, it's just.
I honestly think this is still in Goblin's favor because the way that he won that last game was just by taking Deathspade's stock ridiculously early, and Deathspade didn't even have a chance to breathe.
Yeah, I don't think that the stage counter pick is enough of a shift in the momentum. Yes, you have a smaller platform here, which means that Goblin cannot space as much, does not have as much room to run away and, you know, re-pressure, assuming that Deathspade can get to center stage at any given time, which, as we know, Goblin is not letting that go easily.
I will say, Deathspade definitely knows something I don't about this character. As soon as I say that, the double-edged dance is just going to destroy their stock.
Disgusting.
But I'm sure, I don't doubt, I think Deathspade is too good of a player to come into this without a plan. You know what I mean? I think there has to be some sort of, there has to be some sort of cooking being done in order for Deathspade to pick this character and this matchup, and that's some cooking right there. Some 5-star gourmet as the forward air conversion into the forward smash will finally allow an even stock. But as soon as I say that, I'm complimenting Deathspade, and Goblin's just saying, hey, stop talking, I'm still here.
82%. This is Jair percentage at the very, very edge, and it's double-edged dance percentage as well, even without rage. But looks like Deathspade was able to get back to the ground and start their own combo. A little bit too high up in the air, though, and Goblin's got center again.
Sora seems like such a difficult character to play in general. I think finding like the perfect hitbox to link into the other hitboxes can be like a very delicate balancing act and requires a lot of mechanical skill. And I think doing it in a high pressure situation like this has to be one of the marks of a great player. And I think Deathspade has their work cut out for them in order to do that.
Don't disagree with you there. Thundaga from under the stage is going to catch Goblin, so ledge trap is not going to be as strong, but still able to get it right here, and a jab forward air is enough to kill with just the tiniest bit of rage online and all the way at the edge.
Yeah, Gob hasn't really lost control of the set so far. He's always been pretty solidly in the lead. We've seen a couple of really good conversions from Deathspade, but Gob just still running through, keeping all the pressure up, and not allowing Deathspade to really get anything started. No hijinks with the Thundaga or anything like that. It's just Roy running in, getting his hits in, and getting some damage in.
Character's too fast. I love that pressure off stage. Don't let him stall at all.
I love that from Goblin. He's just so aggressive. He's so ready to punish anything that Deathspade wants to do. And he's willing to run in, running through the projectiles, and now the weight on the double edge dance doesn't quite land 100% though. Deathspade on the back foot here.
Yeah, any conversion will kill. I think Goblin's actually kind of looking for a sour spot up air into like a back air or into a jab, but it looks like the fair is going to get Deathspade back off the stage, and look how far back Goblin is playing.
At this point, Gob can just afford to wait and play his patient game and keep going for like little hits. He doesn't have to commit to anything big. He has such a strong lead, and he can afford to just wait for the straight hit up air to land, wait for the jair. Back air is definitely going to take the stock, and it's one stock apiece. Deathspade still, I think Sora can make this comeback pretty, not easily, but in a reasonable manner. I think with a couple of forward air conversions with a couple of strings, like Goblin stock could evaporate. But this is still a straight hit, a jair, a double edge dance read away from Goblin turning this into a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. A double-edged dance might be the real kicker here, but Deathspade is playing so far in the corners right now. Goblin's getting all the stage that he could possibly want. Ooh. He's just not able to find anything to close it out here.
The Thundaga through the stage. Deathspade just trying to stall for time here, it feels like. Trying to find an angle in. That's a re-grab that Goblin didn't punish. That was a little scary, but we're still alive for Deathspade as they slow things down. The up B should be enough.
What?
Sora, perfect DI from Deathspade to stay alive one more second. No rage as well. If there was some rage, that was definitely death.
Absolutely.
168. So much damage, and Gob content to just continue to jab.
Yep.
And I think Deathspade's looking for that punish on the jab. But this, if Gob whiffs something in like a really bad spot, Deathspade could just like evaporate a stock.
Yeah, or a good edge guard, depending on if Deathspade can get Goblin off stage. But I think one more hit of anything, an up throw will kill. Yeah. Oh, it kills already. Yeah, a few little pummels, and that's all you needed. Fantastic way for Goblin to go up 2-0.
That's the experience. Gob knowing the exact percentage probably in which Roy up there is going to kill. And I don't know if there was a DI mix-up or anything. Probably not. You can see Deathspade nodding already in the camera when they got grabbed. So they were ready to die. And I wonder if we see the swap to Bayonetta. I don't know if they should. I feel like they started to figure things out towards the end. It started to get a lot more efficient, and the conversions at the beginning of the game were really, really solid. I'd love to see them maybe experiment with a little bit more if they're going to stick with the character for a while.
Right.
And it looks like that is going to be the case. We're back on small battlefield, and I think Gob now kind of has to keep his foot on the gas as best he can. He's starting to lose a little bit of momentum, and I don't know if Deathspade's plan was to sort of slow the pace down in general over the course of the set, but it's looking like it's kind of working as they're taking a solid lead early on in this game 3.
Yeah, keeping the foot on the pedal, but also feet on the ground, I think. Goblin's really struggling to find center, not only just center stage, but honestly just grounded options here. Going in the air is, of course, one of the ways that you need to get in early percentages against your opponents as Roy, but it's also the prime opportunity for Sora to be punishing you. If we can get maybe 40–50% down on the Sora, then you can start going for grounded options like down tilt, double edge dance, but a stock is going to be taken before you even get that opportunity.
That's really nicely done from Deathspade, and that's a key adaptation, is that they were able to get those early percent in combos and able to keep Goblin from getting in and just running over them from the beginning. And now they're starting to convert off of these small hits, and this could spell trouble for Gob if it keeps going for too long. He's said that he struggles a little bit in the Sora matchup, and maybe this is where it starts to turn for Deathspade. It would be a long hill to climb up. 3 games need to be won in order to win this set and stay in winner's bracket, but that's a hill that you're going to have to climb if you're an elite player like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for some guaranteed damage here. Jab into Nair, just free Nairs out of here. And you can tell Deathspade's definitely going to plank this out. Really not pressured to find openings, only going to take opportunities given to them.
Yeah, Deathspade with incredible patience now. I think the amount of time that they've spent on the ledge has been really important this set already. Even in Game 2, when they lost, spending that amount of time on the set to try to understand how Goblin wants to edgeguard, try to understand where your openings are, it's proven to be really valuable. And they've gotten really, really good at punishing the jab at the ledge trap as well. And that, if that had converted, that would have been big. It would have been turned into an edge guard and it would have been something massive for Deathspade.
Yeah, I think if you're Goblin here, you're starting to think about what am I doing wrong? What this game started off so differently that put me so far behind, and what am I going to do in the next game, in the next set, or how am I going to condition my opponent to prepare for the next game? I don't know that this one's comebackable.
108% will, 124 now, will be very difficult. A lot of things from Sora will kill, including the up B, I believe. Yeah, right into the corner. And that's going to be a dominant game from Deathspade. 0% on the second stock, just fresh from them. And I'm impressed with the turnaround already. I was really kind of feeling Goblin's energy and like feeling the pressure, but Deathspade just not phased whatsoever.
Big adaptation here is that Deathspade was holding shield a lot in games 1 and 2, I would say. Definitely not towards the end of game 2, but beginning of game 2 and all of game 1. Goblin had his foot on the pedal, like you said, on the gas, pressuring shield like crazy. Sora does not have the most reliable out-of-shield options to deal with like some aerials from Roy. And the difference here is that Deathspade is not putting himself in a position to have to shield most of the time. It's either you're going to catch Roy falling, trying to do an aerial with like an aerial of your own, or being out of range and spacing so you don't have to be shielding at any point whatsoever.
100%.
And you can see that I think Goblin picked this stage specifically so that Deathspade does not have as much room to space and has to shield a little bit more often.
Yeah, I think that's a great adaptation from Goblin, and it's probably going to lead to a little bit closer of a game, as we can already see. 81% for Gob, but he's not allowing Deathspade to run him over anymore, because I think first stock in the last game was like almost a 0 to death. Deathspade had like 20% on them, and now Gob keeping things close, getting his hits in, and making sure that he's able to, I don't know, keep up with this Sora, who's starting to run away with things a little bit.
Goblin's already found like 3 grabs on essentially no shield pressure. So again, it's just an adaptation, understanding what your game plan is going into this game, and that is massive for Goblin. Oh, big shield pressure, but unsafe option.
Incredible patience from Deathspade and picking the exact moment where they could punish. I'm so impressed. I think almost like 90% of players are going to drop shield at the wrong time there. And now the Jer will connect and Goblin will secure the first stock after kind of being at a deficit for the whole time.
Now the question is, what can Goblin do with this? 40%, that's already a fantastic amount of extra credit to get. If you can get your opponent up to 70 or 80 before losing your stock, not only are you going to be pressuring kill options, but unfortunately, you know,
hey, good stuff to Deathspade, not letting it phase them. Exactly. I'm still really impressed with Gob. I think like that's the adaptation we're looking for. That's the kind of pressure that we're looking to see. I want to see more of it. We're going to need to see more of it if he's going to close this out into a game 4.
Yep.
But Deathspade trying to keep it close, trying to make sure that Gob doesn't run away with any of this momentum. He's such a strongly momentum-based player. We've seen him run through so many great players and get so many great wins just by the constant pressure, the constant momentum. And I think something that I want to point out about Gob is that he's starting to punish the Thundaga and a couple more of the projectiles really, really effectively. He's picking his timings through the lightning and through the fire to make sure that he can get his hits in. And it's difficult for when it comes out that slowly and Gob has good positioning. Deathspade's going to get punished for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Deathspade, though they have ledge pressure right now is what I was going to say, Goblin only needs one more interaction to close out the stock. But big stock close early on from Deathspade here, and now it's just a matter of, can I find an opening? Can I find a combo starter? Can I put Goblin in disadvantage before I lose a stock? Because all it takes is a jab, back air, or a double-edged dance, as we've been saying this entire set.
The patience from Deathspade on the ledge, I think I said it earlier, but it's been so crucial in keeping Goblin from getting any momentum. Deathspade taking a second to breathe on the ledge, taking a second to understand what their options are and maybe see if they can find anything. But Gob doesn't allow the stall there. Prevented the plank completely.
The sour downer usually is followed up immediately by a forward air or a back air, but Goblin knew that Deathspade was just too high percentage, decided to wait for the air dodge and then find a forward air afterwards.
My god, the parry.
So important, and then the parry into a nice little punish here. Goblin's evened it up and now has ledge.
This is really, really smart, and Goblin is starting to adapt to the patience as well. Adaptations after adaptations for both players. We're looking for Deathspade, once again, patient on the ledge, looking for any sort of opening, looking for any sort of hole in Gob's ledge trap, but it's not being found right now.
No, just a clean ledge trap, not going for just run-up jabs and then giving up free ledge pressure like he has been this entire set. He's playing a little bit more ambiguously and is prepared.
Nice grab. That was really, really good. The grab was so important, and the fair doesn't quite lead to a stock, but every little bit of positioning, every little bit of percent feels really good. And the clash with the up B, that's good for Gob as well.
94% is kill percentage for a lot of things right now, but finding that opening has been really difficult for Goblin, especially when Deathspade actually is not on the ledge, but is center stage.
If that grab had landed for Deathspade, it could have spelled trouble for Gob, but the back air will lead him back to center stage and will allow him to take back some momentum. Deathspade, once again, trying to find any sort of opening, trying to find an option, almost gets punished, and the double-edged dance will shield poke, and Deathspade, despite their best efforts to try to slow the pace down, will get run over by Moist Goblin, and he will make it to top 96 winners, while Deathspade will move on tomorrow in losers.
Yeah, absolutely. You just see that missed back air, by the way. Had the read on the roll, couldn't quite get it, then went back, went for the down tilt, and this is the whole thing that we were talking about. The entire reason that Deathspade struggled in the first 2 games and in that last game is that Goblin forced them to shield. You could see the shield pressure ticking up, ticking up, ticking up. That down tilt into the double-edged dance. What are your choices there? I think you kind of have to roll in after the 3rd one and pray that Goblin does not hold it, but it's not exactly a checkmate scenario, but the rock, paper, scissors is